going to the air a lot more. I think it's a good time, Derek, just to kind of let the people know about maybe our favorite running backs of all time. I'm gonna go with who I've seen in person. Okay, Derek, you've seen film from all over the state and even the nation, so you got a wider range. Uh, I'm gonna default and let you go first, and then I'll follow you up.
I mean, well, if we're talking in person now, I'll admit it. I don't like going to games. You could
No,
have the
you don't
Super
have to go in
Bowl.
person.
No,
You don't have to
I'm going
go.
to
You
step.
just go on film. Okay.
Well, I'm going to stick to person because I put some thought into this, and I was thinking back to the days of when I was back in my early days when coaches were skeptical of sending film and all that stuff. I'd have to go to the games and film, and I remember filming some Jefferson games back in the day. And Suber, whoo, I'm telling you, man, he did some things on film. Number seven, I always remember numbers. I very rarely names. But I tell you, man, back in the day, Subaru Jefferson was special to watch in person. I like running backs who can make plays not only in the run game but also dual threat, kind of get out in the passing game. And that kid was special in all areas. Ray McLeod, I saw one of his games. I don't get to a lot of games. I will tell you another kid. Back in the day, King High School, Raymond Neal did something in a 7-on-7 at USF. I'm not kidding you. It would be the only thing you needed to see. You'd offer him in a heartbeat. He made the entire other team miss in 7-on-7 out of the backfield, and it was just one of the most impressive things I've seen in the Bay Area in person. But I'll be honest with you, I don't like going to games. I just don't. I like breaking down film. So my answer is back in the day, Suber at Jefferson did some amazing things on film. But yeah, I'll throw it back at you, Preston. You tell me what you got.
Going with Jefferson's rival, and I'm going with the one and only James Wilder Jr. I was coaching at the time. I was coaching at the time when he was at Chamberlain. Okay, he was at Chamberlain as a sophomore, and he was just playing primarily defensive end. And I was coaching at Hillsboro, and watching him on film was one thing. Then we played against him; it was an entirely different thing. He was as good as advertised and twice as good on film. So now he goes to Plant as a junior, and now he's playing offense. And you're talking about a man amongst boys. And it would take the entire secondary with maybe the front seven to bring him down. And he was elusive. He was powerful. He was shifty. He had everything that you would think of as a running back. And he was also 6'3", 230 pounds. And he was a monster. And then remember now, he played both sides of the ball every single snap. And he did this 2 years in a row. James would have like 1,200 yards rushing, and then in the season like 20 sacks, and then 11 TFLs and freaking 60 tackles. And he played all over the field. And I know we're just talking about running backs, but I could easily put James Wilder Jr. in the category of one of the dude. He could easily go in as one of the greatest, yeah, one of the greatest football players, period, that I've seen in person as a high school player.
One thing I like about him when I watch his videos is he has like this long torso, but he has long arms. So he's always just bucks you, or he'll stiff arm you. And man, he like you said, I saw some of his highlights on Plant, and he had the whole Armwood team on top of him. He just like they couldn't get him down. I mean, he took him for a ride for like 10 yards. I think if I had to pick an RB as well, James Wild Jr. would be probably one of my favorite ones to watch. I am a Florida State fan, so maybe I'm biased, but just in high school,
I remember his dad playing with the Bucks many years ago in person, watching him
Yes,
play.
sir.
he holds that
Man,
on his shoulder for sure. He definitely. I remember even when he played for the Bengals and he scored in Tampa. If you, he was like, he's like, I know Tampa loved to cheer on Wilder scored a touchdown again. He loves. He holds that Wilder Jr. on the back of his shoulders. Really, he loves that name, man. And which, hey, you should. His dad was a baller, and so James Wilder Jr. a special player for sure.
Hey,
no doubt.
hashtag get Wilder.
Get Wilder.